In this episode, we're joined by Liam Bourke, Executive Vice President of Comfort Co USA, who has over 14 years' experience in this space. We'll deep dive into the execution of live streaming and how this is going to revolutionise the future of how the Comfort Co helps connect customers with the perfect pair. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Comfort Walk and Talk, where every step towards comfort is a step towards a healthier you.
We're your hosts,
Jeff,
Alana,
And Ben.
together let's transform our lives from the ground up.
Welcome back to another episode of the Comfort Walk and Talk. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with Jeff. And today,
Hey, guys.
we have pulled in Liam. He is our sales manager over in the States for a big project that we're working on over there. So for lots of our Australian listeners, you might not know it, you might not look like it over here, but across the world, live streaming is the future of shopping. It is made huge moves over in China, over in the US, things like that. And we're taking steps to bring it into Australia. So it's something to really look forward to. And another way to get our products out into the customers. So hi, Liam, thanks for joining us.
G'day guys, thanks for having me. Exciting to catch up with you all once again.
So it's a very exciting project that we're working on, as we said, but it's not completely different to what we've done in the past. So for years, we've had great success on things like TVSN here in Australia,
Absolutely.
QVC over in the US, and so the kind of live space, talking about our products, things like that, isn't new to us. But what is new is the way that we're doing it. So can you tell us a bit about the project and what we're doing, Liam?
Absolutely. Look, with my history, particularly here in the US, of being a part of the QVC business for Vionic and a few other brands in more recent times, my association with QVC as an on-air guest and also running the back end of the business just really has led me to believe that being able to connect video commerce, right, being able to connect with the consumer as you and I, conversationally, if you like, is such an amazing way to create engaging dialogue or descriptions or whatever it might be of any type of product. Because if you think about people's purchasing decisions, they're made with the senses, whether it be the eyes or sound or touch and feel. Now, you don't get the touch and feel, but you get everything else. And that is really the best use of that medium. And, if we think about it, and look, QVC is the world standard, the platinum standard, if you like. And, I've always maintained that, no other environment would be able to, in the space of 5 to 7 minutes, give you an ability to talk about your product, demonstrate what it does if it's demonstrable, show what it looks like with outfits and that kind of thing, and get out to all these people, right, and do it in an engaging way. So really, that's the start of it. And what we're trying to do here from the streaming piece is not to take that away, right? There's always going to be a place for TV home shopping, whether it be TVSN would do an amazing job in Australia, or QVC with all of their global areas. But really, this is a way to sort of, from a brand perspective, to really bolt on to the, to what they've created, and really utilize it for your own brand, talk to your own consumers as well. So this is where I'm really excited, because if you think about it from a footwear perspective, there's not, most technology in and around footwear is actually internal. It's not external. You can't just look at a shoe and go, oh, I know, exactly what goes into that. So this type of format really just gives the ability to be able to talk through, what the specific features and of a shoe might be, but also really to explain the benefit, and more importantly, what that means to the consumer, what that's going to mean to the end user. And you're not able to do that. You're not able to do that on a website where you've got some pictures and a couple of bullet points. So that's really why I get excited about, this format, if you like, of being able to engage with our customers.
Yeah, it's almost like marketing these days. We're in a world where it's all very schmick, very polished, 30-second type reels. It's you got to hit someone with the hook. It's all very clean and ready to go. Whereas this kind of delves a bit more into that more messy nature of it. Is someone that really knows what they're talking about rather than knows their talking points. Do you think that's why it's natural for people?
Yeah, it's more natural, right? It's more conversational. And look, even, and again, I'll revert back to my QVC days where, we had guests come in when we were looking for guests with back in my Bionic days, and some of them were seasoned professional presenters. And they were amazing. Some of these people used to host, those real estate shows and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
wow.
Absolutely amazing. But twice I actually brought people into the business who'd never been on TV before and just wanted to try. In fact, they got their time with me because I was friends with the talent agent, and they said, if you've got half an hour, we just need to come in and get them seasoned on what this
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah, I'll show
Both
you
of them
now.
got the role because they weren't presenting, they were engaging.
Yeah.
They were conversational. I
Exactly.
didn't feel like I was being sold something, and that's the natural connection I feel you get with the consumer. And really, the catalyst to all this, I feel, I mean, this has been around. The streaming piece has been around, certainly before 2020. But I actually think we have COVID to think about, to thank for
Absolutely.
the explosion of it, because throughout COVID, again, people were looking for connection anywhere they could get it. And from a consumer perspective, again, everyone was buying online, but then to have that sort of that live person talking you through what the product is, again, it just helps them make a more informed decision. But you also have that there's a human behind it, and even from the human perspective, I can tell you now, and this is a big thing, even from a social media perspective, the advent of AI and that kind of thing. I think people are going to be wanting. I know from my own personal,
Authenticity.
decisions, if I see something, I keep scrolling. But if there's someone, if it's a human, you're more likely to kind of stay on board with it, I think, and
Yeah.
trust it a little more.
So
Personal
Liam,
touch becoming so important.
Liam, I'm really, this is really exciting for us, because one of the things that I think in terms of this whole area is that we have such a great story, like the recipe of comfort. It's hidden though. It's hidden. We have great styles, great footwear looks, but it's hidden. So one of our biggest challenges is telling the story. And what I'd like to understand, have you got some thoughts about how we're going to demo the story of the recipe of comfort?
Oh, absolutely. And look, we can do that with all of the products. If you think about it and let's start with the baby, right? Let's start with the one we all love, the Icarus, right? The Icarus sneaker. And I wish I brought it down here with me. It's sitting about 10 feet up that way. But, we've got an outsole there to actually really sort of turn and point to all of the amazing features that sneaker has, right? The slip resistant outsole, the supercritical foam, the two shank, the external shank, the internal shank, like all of those little details we can actually point to, spend time on it, and then again explain, what does this mean for you? What does having two shanks mean in a shoe for you? And you can't do that in a bullet point.
No.
Or if you can, it's going to be really bloody boring to read about, and you're not going to get that customer.
And you also,
Right?
when you're selling into partners, you rely on them telling the story, and a lot of them do a great job, but a lot of them just show the style and
Exactly
the
right.
decision on the look.
Exactly. So, that's the beauty of it. And then even, when we come into, the more refined styles, the Mia Vitas, particularly in the sandals, the strappy sandals and that kind of thing, again, you're able to really speak very clearly to the fit and feel of the style. And I think that's vitally important, because I've always said I will take a lost sale before I'll be happier taking a lost sale rather than a return.
What would you do to prepare for a live, and what do you do if things go wrong?
Okay, so to prepare for a live, and particularly from here at home, look, I'm lucky enough to have some space to have a little studio area. So it's basically just setting up a couple of lights on either side of me and a light above me, and then. Sorry. Yeah. No. This is all. This is all light.
Lighting, is it?
And this is as good as it could get. Isn't that sad? You've got a head like a drop pie, as a good old Australian expression there. But so it's basically having that set up, and also just having it in a more homely environment. I think just helps again connect with a little more with those folks who are watching and dealing with it and listening and that kind of thing. And then, this is the thing, right? The barriers to entry on becoming, getting into the streaming area are so low, because then you need a laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, and some earbuds, and away you go.
So let's drill down a bit of that, because so that everyone understands what we're talking about. I mean, we've got a new brand in our business called CCO Live, which is our media, and this is really you're heading that drive in terms of creating that media sort of opportunity. But where does it touch, Liam? I mean, this can be going into different platforms, can't it? You know, so tell us a little bit about how you see it working.
Well, look, with CCO Live, we're looking at really a dual tack, if you like. So there's one tack going into more of a mass market. So you think about marketplaces. So that's going to be Amazon Live, right? So that's where, you know, myself and bringing in some other affiliate and presenting partners to come in and present on Amazon Live. So that's going to be on the Amazon platform. And there are various stages you get to on that platform. But any of the affiliates that we're bringing in, look, they'll clip their ticket on a commission of the retail sales. And we're able to, again, engage in this type of format with the Amazon customers. And let's face it, you know, you've got to be onto that platform. You've got to be on that marketplace, no matter what. So why not do whatever we can to make that more engaging? So that's the first prong, if you like. And the second one is really, you know, I guess it's more of an integrated experience within our own website, right? So we also have a platform where we're going to be streaming live from our own website, and we can also throw that live stream out to our social media pages as well. And what I love about this platform is that you transact directly. So oftentimes, you know, if you're transacting through a social media platform, you'll hit the link to buy. Then you either go to the product page or you go to the company's website or whatever it might be, and you still got to scroll to choose your size and whatever it might be. Through these platforms, you actually click the size that you want to buy, and then you go straight to the checkout. So it's really a seamless, integrated experience to have there. I guess the drawback, and I don't really see it as a drawback, but it's not mass appeal because we're only appealing to those who already follow us, right? Yeah. So it's to our own email database, it's to our own social media following, right? Yeah. But it's also, that's probably one of the best addressable markets, if you like, to appeal to.
Exactly.
And you know, look, I always sort of take the tack of, you know, look, if we're doing a live stream and there's only 25 people watching it, if 10 people make a purchase on that, then great. Wow. We've got 10 people. Amazing. Yeah. But then if they start talking to people about the brand and that kind of thing, then we'll have more and more people. So it's a long game. It's not a short game because, again, the Comfort Co. in the US is a pretty new entity. We've got one brand, Revere, that's been around for 10, 11 years. But then the Mia Vita and Vitasol brands, they're really new. So we're not going to have a lot of brand awareness, but this is the way to get that organic brand awareness, but also make the consumers and the people, you know, buying our product really happy because they're going to understand what it is they're purchasing, first of all, but it also gives us a way to really sort of tell our brand story, talk to the recipe of comfort, and again, what it means for them, like what's in it for them, and that's really the key thing from my side.
You mentioned Comfort Co, and I think it's good for our audience to know that we have a Comfort Co US site. We have one in Singapore, one in New Zealand, one in Australia, soon to be one in the Middle East as well. And our aim is to have this type of structure behind each website. You know, for a start, it's a Comfort Co as a live sort of shopping experience.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about it as well, Jeff, is, you know, we're able to pull in talent from each of those markets to help out with everyone else's market as well.
So tell us a bit about that, Liam, because that's a way of amplifying the audience, isn't it? If we bring in ambassadors, or, you know, you call them affiliates, ambassadors, tell us a little bit more about that and drill down how that's going to impact us. Yeah. Sure.
So look, I think the advantage if I look at the local US market, is to bring in people who, you know, again, are keen to present, are engaging, maybe have a profile, maybe not have a profile, and this is just something that they want to do as a side hustle, if you like. It's a great opportunity to do that because, again, all you need is a laptop and a couple of lights and away you go, and our login, and you can do it. right? So, that's I think the real beauty of it. And if we bring in people, and we will be bringing in people from different time zones in the country, that makes everybody's life a lot easier, because it means we can schedule, a live stream for, 7 a.m. in the morning here on the East Coast, and we can also do one for 3 a.m. in the morning, because that's going to be 12 a.m. on the West Coast.
Yes.
Or we can even utilize some of the talent that we have in Australia. That's going to be 11 in the morning.
Exactly.
Down there. So it just gives us an ability to be able to test out what times are the best times to stream, and that's going to change too from market to market, and even from day to day as well, and even product to product. So it's going to take a while for us to really sort of work that out. But that's the beauty of having these presenters, if you like, come in, and that's what they're going to be doing, presenting product, and being able to answer questions about the product in real time.
Amazing.
And the beauty of video is that it lives forever.
Exactly.
Right?
So go to that point on Lives Forever, because we obviously have Comfort Co stores, flagship stores in Australia and New Zealand, and soon to be other markets as well, Singapore. So how does this potentially work in the stores? Like, we can replay these, can we? These
Absolutely, yeah. These are our videos, right?
Yeah.
So we can throw them up. We can put them onto Comfort Walk and Talk on YouTube, if you like.
Exactly.
So the beauty of it. I don't want to take away from these amazing podcasts, though, but that's the beauty of it, right? And what we're doing is educating the consumer about our product, right, and about what our business does, right, and really about that recipe of comfort. We're able to tell everybody what that's really about, but also show the footwear, that's incorporating that recipe. And I think that's the beauty of it. And we're able to do that again. Throw that out to the stores. We're able to do a live stream from the stores.
Exactly.
We're able to walk the floor, if you like, and do the live stream from the stores. And, that can actually either bring people into the stores, so raise awareness about the Comfort Co. in general, raise awareness also for our retail partners, right? If I speak of the US, we've got a number of, phenomenal retail partners. We can just acknowledge the fact that, hey, you may not want to buy directly from our website, but we've got some fantastic independent retailers. Check them out. There's a store locator on the site. Go in, touch and feel it for yourself. That might be the last piece they need. They've heard about it, they've seen it, but maybe they actually just want to, get the fitting experience as well, just to make sure. Yeah. And that's fine. That works. This isn't about us selling more stuff off our website. This is about us building the brand and supporting both our retailers and our e-com side as well.
It's a big move for us. Big move. If we figuring it out as we go along, like a lot of things we do in this business.
Exactly.
But,
that's so unlike us.
We'll be fine. So I just want to hear a bit more about the ambassadors themselves. So, say I just want to give you a hypothetical. I'm someone that knows absolutely nothing about comfort shoes whatsoever, but I would like to get started and become an ambassador. Maybe do some lives. Maybe do some stuff for the Comfort Co. How would I go about that? What do I need?
Good question.
What are you looking for?
Good question.
Sure. Look, what I'm looking for is someone who, again, is engaging. Footwear experience isn't actually necessary, because guess what? And again, I go back to presenters I brought in, didn't know a thing about footwear. That can be learnt, right? That can be taught pretty easily, because it's really talking through features and benefits and being able to relate those features and benefits to what that can mean for the person viewing the live stream. So really, that just steps back to what I'm looking for is someone who's just engaging. You don't even need to have had experience, being on it. If you're just a good conversationalist, then, you'll be great at this. The thing you've got to get your head around is, oftentimes you're just talking, with yourself and, however many people who are watching it who you can't see. So that's sometimes a bit of a barrier, particularly there might only be 2 or 3 people watching. But again, you've got to keep going through it, because, again, that video lasts forever. So really what I'm looking for is for someone who has that confidence to, be able to present, and to be able to, talk, about the features and benefits of a product, but just be personable and be real. that's what matters most, because you think about it in your own purchasing decisions. You want to buy something off someone you trust, right?
Yeah.
And of someone who you can relate to, not someone who's trying to sell you something. And really, that's what we're trying to really sort of get across with these platforms. And I think it's a really great way to do it. I don't want professional presenters, because then it almost looks like we're trying, and we are trying. Don't get me wrong, but it almost looks like we're trying too hard. I want someone who's going to be able to relate, to someone like me, who just wants to, understand what a product is or what a product does before I make my purchasing decision.
And often a micro, like we call them, a micro audience, but an audience that's developed around people of similar likes and beliefs as the individual is going to be actually more meaningful, because they're probably all going to be interested in the same types of product and all that, isn't it? So it's not a massive audience. I'm saying they don't need massive audiences to be an effective ambassador.
There's the saying,
Oh, absolutely not. And again, a few of the affiliates and ambassadors who we've brought on, even a couple of the discussions I've had with them, it's like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. It's just like, you just got to do it. Because, and it's always the whole story of, and I've heard this from a couple of influencers who've, got hundreds of thousands and millions of followers, but it's like, the post that I spent the most time editing and perfecting didn't get me anything, and the one where I just had in drafts for so long and just went bugger it and do it is the one that goes viral.
Every time.
It's always the way. So you've just got to sort of pull the band-aid off and have a go, right? And it only gets better with time.
Liam,
mate, our first stream was clunky, and it's because you're getting your head around what you need to do, how you need to hold the shoe, how we're going to talk to it, all those sorts of things. It's clunky, and you just get better. You get better and better, as you go along.
You're creating a schedule, aren't you? We're going to create a weekly, a schedule of live shows, aren't we? So it's going to be a regular feed, which, to your point about just give it a go, you're basically every week creating so many shows about different shoes or about different topics that you're going to, create some good ones and some not so good ones. But
you're going to have your good days and your bad days. No different to anything else that we do in life, right? So, and the bad days, again, I said the videos live forever, so that might be good for the Christmas party. But you never know. But look, there's going to be times too where you've got 100 people watching you, or 1,000 people, and there's going to be times where you've got 12. And that's fine, because you're still trying to communicate to the, even to the smallest addressable market, they're engaged with what you're listening to. So if you've got, a wide following, a narrow following, it doesn't matter. And if we're talking about it from the social media, from the affiliate aspect, that can really help you, right? Because, anything you post on our behalf, we're going to share and amplify to our customer base, right? And our social media networks. Now, there's probably going to be a little bit of crossover, but maybe not a lot. So maybe you could be doing different products. You could be doing a beauty product as well, and that could be capturing a different set of eyeballs who you may not have had because they were footwear customers. So our aim, again, it's not just to be all in, you've got to be all in for Comfort Co. We want to pump up, your tires as well to maybe help build your own, affiliate presence, if you like.
So what's in it? So just give a brief, an affiliate with us, what happens if someone wants to become an affiliate or an ambassador, really, of the brand? What happens?
So if you want to become an ambassador for the brand, so there's a couple of areas. So if we look into from a social media perspective, if you've got an Instagram account or a Facebook or a TikTok account, whatever you want, whatever platform you're on, you just reach out to us on our social media platforms and tell us you're interested. We set you up through our Shopify app, which is what we use, and that's how we're able to track it. It's as easy as that. And I get pinged and say, right, this person's approved. And then we just go through and say, right, well, what are the samples that you want?
Yes.
What do you think you might want to host? And we arrange those samples. And, the commission rate is pretty generous as well. So I think 10% of sales from a commission perspective. And I love that because you eat what you kill. You can post as much as you want or as little as you want.
Yeah.
We will amplify it where we need to. And then away you go. And it's done so seamlessly because we track the sales, and every month, bang, it just your commission just gets paid straight out.
So if,
it's really a really simple process.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm running it, and you needed to make it as simple as possible. But it's really simple. Now, if as a social media personality, if you like, or if you do have a social media profile, but the streaming piece and the presenting piece is something that's of interest for you, then great, because the same rules apply, right?
Exactly.
So you get the commission on it. We just set you up onto the platform, and whether it be Amazon Live, which is so easy to use and so seamless, or the other platform that we're using to stream from our website, again, very, very easily done. It's just clicking a couple of things on your phone, and away you go. And again, we're able to sort of pull in the different times that we want to go on, and also the specific products as well. So it's really sort of laid out pretty simply to enable us to making sure we're getting the consistency, making sure we're getting the learnings of what slots are going to are more appealing for our viewers and our consumers. And also, what products work best when.
And
so
I would say,
I think
and one of the other benefits, we are really saying a bit of our strength, but you are one of the most seasoned professionals in terms of online presenting a product and shopping. I mean, how many years, Liam? 15 years? Is it something like that? Or
12. Well, oh, gee whiz, what are we up to now? 26, 14 years.
yeah,
Yes.
amazing.
And look, I think it's important that you just natural with it. And again, yeah, that was and I was actually reflecting on this last week actually, and it was I from my days at QVC, there would be probably in excess of $500 million in retail sales that have been done over that time. So it's a really great way to be able to sort of drive, again, from a brand awareness perspective, but also from a revenue perspective. And I think from a presenting from the perspective of being a presenter and being one of our presenters, again, as we build that business, obviously it's going to become a lot more lucrative. And we're just doing the hard yards now as we're starting out to really sort of try and get to, right, what are the key times, what are the key products, and what's the time of year. And the key to any of this, Jeff, it's really about consistency. And it's consistency of presenting, and you've just got to be patient with it, because again, it's not going to happen in a week or 2 weeks, probably 6 months. We're still going to have very low viewership, but again, it's all about the content that it's creating and the way that we can engage with our consumer.
Yeah.
One question before you maybe finish up, Ben, but do we expect to have get to a point where we have limited editions, like a special release for the show? I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? Where we do a show and we sell out. If a particular
100%. So I think it's a great way to when we want to go on clearance.
Yeah.
So this can give our viewers kind of the first little sneak peek into it as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing as well, we're a global business. That's amazing. Right. Yeah. If you've got, if you're ordering some items for Australia, and it might be either on a style or even a colour or two that we're not doing here in the US, great. We can bring that in just in some smaller quantities and present that exclusively to our viewers and that kind of thing. So I think that's the beauty of it. And every season we'll do a couple of limited edition drops, whether that be on a specific colour or maybe on a specific style as well. So.
Exciting.
I think it's just a great way to get different variations of our product onto the consumers as well, and also test. So maybe there is an item that was done in the Asia Pacific market we didn't do here.
Exactly.
Bring in some small quantities here. We test it online, and then we introduce it to the wholesale business. The following season. So it's a way just to get some instant market research, if you like, for various products.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Super exciting.
Just to wrap up, Liam, I'd like you to speak directly to our customers now. Why should they watch the live stream?
Well, first of all, because it's really going to be good fun because I'm going to be doing it. And also I've got a great colleague of mine, Sally, who's coming on board as well. So her and I have known each other for over 10 years, and she's a seasoned professional when it comes to from the QVC days and also presenting on live streams. So I think, look, that's the first part of it. You're actually going to be talking or, well, listening to someone who's real. We'll be able to answer any questions you have over any of our products live in real time.
Yeah.
So, anything you got, all you need to do is type a question and away you go. And I think what's also fun is we're able, on the platform that we're utilising on our own website, we're able to actually bring in multiple people. So there can actually be 2 or 3 of us, I think, actually all hosting the same stream. That's going to be a lot of fun because it's going to be a lot more conversational. There's going to be a lot more thoughts in and around sort of how to wear and
Cool.
feedback, if you like, on the styles and the fit and the feel just from more than one person. So I think that's going to be great fun as well. So, if you want to learn more about it, and we're not just going to be about products as well, we're going to be able to weave in sort of some interesting details, whether it be about foot health, whether it be about current trends, all of that kind of thing as well. So, but we are keeping it short and sweet. They're not going to be hour-long monologues either. These are kind of, 25, 30, 35-minute presentations. So they are going to be, you're not going to get bored too quickly.
Fantastic.
I hope.
Perfect.
I'm excited.
It's very exciting
unbelievable.
kind of place we're going.
Next level.
We have our first shows are coming as of next week in the US, so keep an eye out for those ones. They'll be
Next
dropping
couple of days.
in the next couple of days. Wow.
Yep.
First cab off the rank. You love to see it. So by the time this podcast comes out, you'll be a seasoned professional. We'll leave some details in the show notes here of where to find those lives, how to tune in, and maybe a bit of a
The
schedule.
good news for our Australian audience is Liam is an Australian, so he can interpret the US language to Australia. He can translate for us. So it's fantastic.
Perfect. Absolutely hit the nail on the head. So thank you for joining us, Liam. It's all very exciting where we're going to go from here, and can't wait to tune into a couple of those lives. Thank you very much.
Can't wait to rip in, mate.
Listeners
Only good. You can only make good comments though, Ben. I can see you trolling me.
Of course. I'll be nice.
Thank you guys.
Into a
Appreciate
pillow
it.
on the side.
Awesome.
You won't see that.
Awesome, amazing. This is great initiative. Thanks, Liam.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, everyone at home.
Thank you for joining us on the Comfort Walk and Talk by the Comfort Co. If you like this episode and you got something out of it, we would love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Don't forget to subscribe on your favourite channels and never miss a step on your journey to comfort.
Please follow us for more insights and updates on the Comfort Co social media channels. Until the next episode, see you later.